Hello, this is Farrah Smith reporting for Unit 10 for Atmospheric Science 101, Weather and Climate of Alaska. To start off, I would briefly like to touch on Unit 10 observations that I had. I went back and pulled up the Fairbanks information from our forecast information that we used for the worksheet and jotted down some of the averages for Fairbanks relative to my days here. I know it's the max and the min, but they're pretty close on each side, give or take a few, degrees. But like for March 25th relative, the average temperature was 26 degrees. Just going by days of the week here. Thursday, average temperature was 31 degrees, and again, I am getting that from information here. It's 31 and then 35 average for Friday, 35 again average for Saturday, and 33 average for Sunday. Actually, after talking to Dr. Collins, my readings are a bit high for Unit 10. They are a little inflated due to the fact that my weather station is near the front of my house, which is south facing, and it's getting residual heat due to the temperature swings throughout the day. But to jump over to Unit 12, I'm talking about the weather patterns that we saw for the state based on the records. Sunday, there was a stationary front through the interior. Monday, we had a high pressure system. We had high pressure systems, one up in Deadhorse and one down in the west central area. Tuesday, we had two troughs, one up in Deadhorse and one down in the southwestern region. Wednesday, we had a big occluded front down in the Cook Inlet. Thursday, there was that same occluded front with a trough going through the middle of the state with some snow peppered throughout and a low pressure system in the southeast. Friday, that trough was still there with this west central, or through the west central area with a low pressure system in the south central area accompanied by rain. And Saturday, that trough still there moving toward the southwest with some snow showers. That really made me think about the 4 methods of forecasting that Eric Stevens went through, that persistence model. That trough is pretty persistent. And talking about the performance and forecasting methods during the week, the methods that I found that were most accurate were the persistence forecast. Because you can see with the persistence table, there's more A's than F's, and the climatology clearly did not fare out so well. I also found that so there's a note here. I accidentally clicked Eagle. I didn't mean to, but I cannot unclick it. I do not mean for this to be clicked. The forecasts are most accurate according to my records here. Dillingham had 3 A's and 2 F's, so I threw it in there because it had 3 A's. Kenai actually had 3 A's and no F's. Norway had only 1 F, and Dead Horse also had 3 A's and 1 F, showing that the forecasts that were least accurate were Bethel with 3 F's and Eagle with 3 F's. Again, this should not be marked, but I cannot unmark it. Operator error, I guess. When going into the National Weather Service forecast section, I did find that there was some skill there. When we talk about Dillingham, has 3 A's. Kenai has 3 A's, Norway has 3 A's, and Dead Horse has 3 A's. However, least accurate was Bethel with 3 F's and Eagle with 2 F's. So again, both Bethel and Eagle were least accurate for the National Weather Service, and Bethel and Eagle were least accurate for the other section of the forecasting of this unit. The skill I showed Dillingham, Kenai, Northway, and Dead Horse. I do agree that the 3-day forecast is more accurate than the 6-day forecast due to the fact that they're closer together. Again, using that persistence model, showing for more A's than not. So again, that's the regions that were the forecasts that were most accurate. Some reasons why the forecast might be more accurate in some geographic regions than others is because the Arctic can be more accurate than the interior because of the variations that the interior can provide. So the residual heat from the land versus Dead Horse up at the top of the world almost, you know, being an ice block, not having much latent heat warming it up. And some reasons why the forecast may be more accurate with high pressure than with low pressure. My dryer just went off, sorry about that. It's because the higher pressure systems they're actually sandwiched in between the lower pressure systems, and they kind of mix together, and that's when you get the occluded front, the stationary front, and the troughs, as we learned before in Unit 10. Let's see. Also, the when looking at, you know, the southwestern stations, there are several cyclones that go through this area that are influenced by the temperature in these areas, and that's because the low pressure systems throughout the southwestern region of Alaska are large in part due to the geographical location, right? The polar fronts missing with the subtropical anticyclones accounts for the mixed weather in that area and brings in a lot of the rainy weather that is seen throughout that area. And Kenai might have been different on Sunday 3:30 if the lower pressure system cyclone had followed my student trend forecast rather than the actual path, because if the low pressure system low pressure system systems throughout the southwestern, if the low pressure system would have followed the student trend, it would have had very unpleasant weather in the Kenai area, being more fog and snow showers. And we did have record high temperatures on 326 in Fairbanks and throughout the interior. So with cloudiness and wind conditions contribute to high temperatures across the state. So When I think about that, there's a saying in aviation, it's cold and clear. So, um, clearly in the wintertime when it's nice and cold and clear, those clear days when you can see McKinley and whatnot. Um, Therefore, when you have cloudiness and wind, that would be the opposite, contributing to higher pressure systems across the state. So um, that's the way I always think about that. And when we think about the meteorological conditions contributed to the factor of the forecast on Tuesday, 326, did a better job of predicting these temperatures on Thursday than the forecast on Saturday. That was mainly in part due to the low pressure system that were in the forecast, and they were forecast and they stayed there. So this was a very interesting unit. Lots of numbers and reading the maps. I greatly enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next unit. Thank you so much.